Hello guys, Dividend Enjoyer here, and today I'm going to be going over my $35,502 stock portfolio, and I do have to make some confessions, guys. I did sell a little bit of stock, but I bought a different position and ultimately ended up pulling out about $500. What I sold in was actually Meta and Apple. I think that Apple's more likely going to continue to roar up, but I bought these shares, a lot of them for $200. I think that getting out at 229 is a pretty good deal for three of my shares. Pretty good profits there, locked in, very happy with it. And Meta has just been soaring, as you can see. I'm up 52.91% on it. I thought, let's take some more profits from Meta. This is priced for perfection, basically. I still want to hold a little bit of it. I think $1,000 is a good amount of Meta to have. But I really wanted to profit off of this and lock some of those profits in. Some things I did not actually sell were Salesforce, ticker symbol CRM. Still very happy to hold Salesforce. I don't think that this, talk of AI replacing their whole business model is really going to be able to materialize. And I think that Salesforce is really, as a company, they're very aware of all of the threats and all of the things that could happen to them. And I really trust that Salesforce is not going to let themselves be replaced by any kind of artificial intelligence, and that they're really going to be working to keep their consumers happy and on the Salesforce ecosystem. And I really think that Salesforce is also going to continue to make more money and that AI is actually going to help them. So that's kind of my big bet, is that I think that AI is going to be a positive, not a negative for Salesforce. And I really think that it's not appropriately priced. But what I bought was actually not Salesforce because, like I said, I was at 10K, didn't want any more of it. I actually bought more Vici, and now I'm at the point where I'm getting $366.88 in annual income from my Vici investment, which I think is really cool that, I'm getting over $1 a day from this investment, and it's already paid me, I think, $200 total. Really happy to hold it. Really want to get this one to 10K. And then after that, I think I'm going to go for waste management. And I think I'm just going to buy them, guys. I want, I want some more money in some stocks that aren't going to really move very much. I know that sounds boring for kind of an investing channel. Not that I'm a financial advisor or any of this is financial advice, but I really want some very boring, safe stocks that are going to make me a lot of money. I think that Salesforce is going to turn it around, and I probably should be buying more of it right now since I really do believe so. But I really want to build more of a Vici position because I like how much the dividend is, and I also think that long term, it's going to just continue to outperform and do very well. I like experiential real estate, and I think it's a very easy to understand business. It's a business that I really want more of, and I'm happy to own more of. I think that I'm going to do another full kind of breakdown of what my value for Vici is after earnings and kind of give my input there. But I think that this is, long term going to be worth a lot more money simply because I think that the real estate that they have is really irreplaceable, and I don't think you could emulate it again. I don't think you could create another Las Vegas, at least in my lifetime. Maybe you could somewhere else, but I really feel like those properties that they own, those specific casinos are, just they have a lot of intrinsic value to them, is what I'll say for sure. And I think that those casinos are going to continue to operate and be successful into the future. But going through, I didn't sell any of my Hasbro, thought about it. I thought about locking in profits there. You can see I'm up $177 total on it. Really happy still with this investment. I watched an Alpha Investments video recently, and he talked about how local LGSs are not able to get play boxes, which I find really interesting because they're raising. It was a long story, but basically they were selling them for more than what WotC wanted them to sell them for. So WotC's only going through Amazon and other bigger distributors. Pretty interesting video. So I don't know. I think that Magic's super in demand still, from what I can tell from the secondary markets. I haven't been involved or as involved lately, so I've definitely thought about selling this stock since I have such a sick return on it. But I really think that as long as Magic the Gathering is doing well, I'm happy to own Hasbro because that's really the main thing that I care about out of Hasbro. But next up, we got Prologis too. I thought about adding some of this too because it has a pretty good dividend as well. It is also a real estate investment trust specializing in warehouse logistics real estate. So big warehouses that you see, they own that kind of real estate. I think Prologis would be a really cool long-term stock to hold and just get paid to hold for the long run. Um, I don't know. I really want to own more of that as well, but I really feel like Vici is a better company overall. So I think I would rather have Vici just because I feel like the properties are a lot better. The quality of tenant is probably a lot better. And it's just like, it's very early on as a company, Vici is. So I think that we still have a lot of good years of growth. I definitely think that they're going to be the leaders in experiential real estate. I mean, they already are. And I think that they're doing it in the correct way. And I think that they're doing it in a way that's going to be very, very lucrative for the long run and really something that you're going to want to have a significant position in. I think, again, not financial advice, but I'm really glad I bought more Vici. I'm always happier when I buy more because that dividend payment just gets bigger. Obviously, they're buying more properties, which is making me more money, which is making me happier. Really want to just see Vici continue to grow. I'm very much debating just reinvesting all my dividends for the long run until I actually need more cash. But this is a stock that I want to own more of for sure, depending on the price for sure. Next up, we also had Texas Roadhouse, ticker symbol TXRH. I'm now down like $100 on it. Um, they released their earnings. I know that they missed. I would have liked to have definitely seen better numbers, but I also really like that they've opened more stores this quarter. That's the main thing I'm looking for. As long as that trend is going up and they're opening more stores, I'm very happy. I think that long term, they're going to make a lot more money going forward. We're going to have bad quarters like what they had, but I mean, if you're going to hold this thing for the long run, you know that there's a lot of risk that they're not going to perform in the way that they're expected to perform. So, you know, they really have to justify their high premium that they have as a stock. And I think that they're going to continue to do that. And even if they have a bad year, even a bad 2 years, I'll still hold it out. I think that this is an excellent stock with excellent growth potential. There is that initial premium that you have to pay to get in. But that's the same thing I said about Salesforce. So we'll see if this thing tumbles into the floor and I can get it cheaper. I guess we can look back at this and see if, you know, this is a Curb Your Enthusiasm moment or not. Next up, we have Apple, ticker symbol AAPL. Obviously, I sold 3 shares of this, made some decent money on it, was really happy, honestly, guys. I mean, this is one that I just clearly called, and honestly, I kind of did the wrong thing because, you know, I overextended a little bit. I probably shouldn't have put my cash into so much Apple, but you know, it really panned out and I got the W here. So I'm very happy to have sold off a little bit of it. Very happy to hold it too. I kind of want to wait for the 52-week high and then maybe liquidate a little bit more just because I do think that, you know, there is some issues with the growth, but I do think that the intrinsic value puts it probably around this value, maybe a little bit higher, but I don't know. Like, I would not be buying Apple here. I'll put it that way. I think 229 is very fair, probably. But I'm hoping to sell up my shares for maybe, you know, in the 240s, something like that. If we can get up to the 240s, that'd be pretty nice, and I would make a decent amount of money. And I would probably liquidate some of it and put it into more like Vici, waste management, those types of things. Next up, we have American Express, ticker symbol AXP. I'm currently up $231.71 or 9% on this stock. It's currently paying me $30.36. I just want to own more of this. It's always hard to buy though because it's always hard to justify the premium on it. But once you do buy in, I mean, I've always felt good about it, even when I see the stock go down like crazy. That's one of the rare opportunities where I'm like, okay, this is a pretty good deal on this stock. The stock normally isn't this cheap. I'm going to buy some. And in most cases, usually if I wait long enough, I'll make my money back because I'm buying pretty high quality companies. American Express is not the exception. You can see we're up 9% already. I think it's going to continue to grow. I think that American Express long term is going to be a great business, especially in the next 10 years. I think I'm going to look back at this video and be like, why did I not just buy American Express? Because I really think that they're going to have insane growth going forward still. I'm really happy to own this stock, and I think the future is only going to get better. Next up, we got Waste Management, ticker symbol WM. They're currently up $197.30 from where I bought, or 4.93%, not including dividends. So that was a pretty modest dividend, but I think over 1% still, so not nothing. Really love this business model. Really think that they're the leaders in waste disposal just in general, and also really just want to continue to increase my position in this company. This is the one that I think maybe might be better than Vici in terms of just a company as a whole, because I mean they have very good financials, very high quality, very defensive, can weather pretty much any economic storm, worth the premium, higher than expected growth pretty consistently, whether that's organic or through M&A. They're in a business where there's a lot of economies of scale, and when you're the biggest business in a business where it matters to be the biggest business, you have a lot of advantages. So they're able to bully a lot of the smaller trash guys, maybe buy them out, compete with them in a better way just because they can afford to lose more money. So Waste Management's a great business. I really love it. I want to hold it for the long term. I think it's going to make a lot of money. I think it's going to make a ridiculous amount of money going forward. And I think it's, very defensive, very powerful. Next up, we have Amazon, ticker symbol AMZN. This is just, a beast of a company. Ridiculous. I think it's, it's not even worth trying to fight this business. It's just too strong of a business. They're too competitive, and, they provide really valuable services and products to people for very affordable prices and very convenient. It's a very convenient service. It's very quick. It's very cheap usually. Sometimes they can even send you just batteries for the price that it would cost at the store. Sometimes it just makes sense to Amazon things. So I really like Amazon. I think that their business model is very strong. I think that AWS is still going to be the leader. I don't think anyone else is going to be even in the same realm in terms of just the market share that they're going to have on AWS. I think everything is going to be built on AWS. I could very much see Microsoft really not doing well with Azure just because, they've had Bing, they've had the Zune, they've had so many failures of products that I don't know. I don't think Amazon's had the same level of failure in the things that they do when they're leading. So I really would bet on Amazon pretty big. I'm up 8.43%. I think that I should be up more. I really think that the stock, this one's different than Apple. I think that it's very much higher quality. I think it has the same level of power. And I really think that expectations are kind of ridiculous for it in terms of what they're looking for. I really think that their results are going to materialize in the next couple of quarters. I don't think it's going to be an immediate thing. I think it takes a lot of time for Amazon's plans to really materialize, but by the time that they do, if you've held the stock for a very long time, you're usually very happy when you look back on the average annual returns. But you're going to have a couple of years of really bad returns where they're investing into things that are going to be growing those cash flows. So I'm going to hold on to my Amazon. I really like it. I think that the business is going to do very well. I don't know if I'm necessarily adding more here. I might add more here and there, just very partially. I think also I'm going to go a little less hard in the paint in terms of just investing in general. I think that I've really been throwing a lot of money really consistently in there. And I think that I need to take a little bit of a chill pill because I really think that I've been just going way too hard into stocks. And I think I need to just analyze some more companies and really make more measured decisions just in general. But I also think I should be taking profits sometimes. Like when the stocks are doing very well, I think it makes sense sometimes to sell out a little bit and put it in something, a little bit defensive and also enjoy some cash, So that's what I'm doing as well. Not really looking to sell any of my big dividend names like Vici. Not really looking to ever sell Waste Management. Those are stocks that I think I'm going to hold pretty much forever and probably never sell a share of. Just collect those dividends and wait for the dividends to grow more. And I also want to talk about Salesforce. We're not going to skip over it. It's obviously down in the dumps. I'm going to tell you guys, I think that over the next 5 years, Salesforce will beat the S&P from where it's at today. I think it can't get much more down in the dumps, but we'll see. If this thing goes to below 200, I'm probably going to throw like $3,000 in there at least. Oh, man. And it could. It's probably more likely to go down more than it is to go up more. I think that the sentiment's just really crappy about it. And I think that eventually Salesforce is going to turn it around with their numbers because, negative Wall Street opinions can only last for so long. Earnings is when everything should be really evaluated on. Earnings should be like the key metric that decides what the company is worth and where the company should be. All of this other bullshit is smoke and mirrors. Whatever the company is earning, and if you really think that Salesforce is going to be rendered obsolete by AI, sell it to me, okay? Because I think long-term Salesforce is going to do very well. I could be wrong, by the way. I mean, I'm risking $10,000 of my own money putting this on the internet. I could be getting ridiculed in a year from now when Salesforce goes bankrupt because AI stole their business. Could definitely happen. I think it's a very difficult environment. But I'm willing to take this risk. I think this is a risk that's worth taking. I'm not going to put another penny into it. I'm just going to collect the dividends going forward. But I really think that Salesforce over the long term is going to continue to make more money. I think that they have good network effects. I don't think that so many businesses are going to be able to just implement an AI that can take over this CRM function. I also think that Salesforce is actually going to be able to use AI and implement it and develop their products through AI. And I really think that AI is going to be a thing that accelerates Salesforce forward, not holds it back. So I think that Salesforce is being massively undervalued. I think that they're already being counted out. They have a massive market cap. They have a lot of money. They're buying a lot of other companies that do a lot of really cool things. And I think that the growth is going to be there. And I think long-term Salesforce is going to succeed as a business. And I'm very happy to hold Salesforce. These are the times where you're really tested as an investor. And I've got to say, guys, it is difficult, but I think I'm weathering the storm pretty good. I'm not going to sell a single share, probably until I make some money on them. Going to just collect the dividends, maybe reinvest them right now, actually. But other than that, I don't think I'm going to buy anymore. I want to get more Waste Management for sure. I think Waste Management is like the gold standard of businesses. I think it's very safe, very secure. There's not going to be a lot of volatility. And if I ever need money, I'll have that money. Not that I would probably touch that first. I've also, I've really thought about selling some of my Apple to buy more Waste Management just because I'm up so much on the Apple. And, maybe I'll sell out of my Hasbro. Maybe that's the move. Maybe the move is to sell out of Hasbro, but they pay a pretty good dividend, and I still like WotC. I could just hold everything I have here and not have to pay taxes on it. I know that Salesforce could protect me from taxes, but I'm happy with having my costs at $10K. Probably just not going to touch anything here. I also think that Apple probably has more momentum to go higher. I just cannot believe that the stock has whipsawed this far back in such a short period of time. Just like I can't believe how much Salesforce has whipsawed downward. I mean, it's kind of unbelievable how much stocks can move. Meta is the most insane one, though, with the most movement by far. And I think it's, I mean, it's probably my best investment I've had on the channel so far. So I feel really good about that one. I'm really glad I did a video on it because it made me a decent amount of money. Hasbro's been pretty good as well. Again, I'm just kind of jumping around everywhere, but thinking about everything. I think I have a pretty good lineup of investments here. I would like to get probably some Take-Two or some Uber, but I really want to build up the very, very, very boring, just low volatility, safe businesses like Waste Management. I know I made a video on Rollins not too long ago. I like that business as well. They own Orkin and a lot of pest control businesses. I think that's an interesting one to get into. But, I think that dividends are pretty good. I think that the portfolio is pretty good. We're still positive. We're still chugging along. I think you guys and everyone should really be positive today. Have a good rest of your day. And thank you guys for watching. Please hit that subscribe button if you made it this far. I really appreciate you guys being here with me while I get to talk about my stocks. Bye.